everybody. Happy Sunday. It's, I almost said it's Squid. It's Heather. Welcome to Evidence Through Motion. How are you guys doing? Welcome to our Sunday morning live. Today is just going to be a Q&A. I do have the video live, video uploaded, giving YouTube and the YouTube algorithm some time to work with it and push it out to the right people before I make it live. So, because of getting this nice new desk and everything that went on this week, I just pushed back the upload schedule by a week. So, I do have the video ready to go and all that. But I figured today we would just do a Q&A, kind of an ask me anything. Not on the video, not on any, just on whatever we feel like doing today. Good morning, Tammy. How are you? And Tammy, I know you can call me Heather, you can call me Squid. It is what it is, Just call me anything but late for dinner because you don't get these arms and this stomach being late for dinner. Kirby, I'm early, I win. And I did change it from 10:30 or from 11 o'clock to 10:30. I'm sorry for my East Coast peeps. You'll have to be, or my West Coast peeps, you'll have to be on replay crew. But it just works better for the schedule and being able to have family time on Sundays because we don't get a whole lot of family time on weeknights. So I got to take advantage of it when I can. And how is everybody doing? Janet, Andrea, Ninja Puppy. God bless. Uh, Let's see who else is here. Heroes Chris, how are you? Janet, made it back. Good to see you. It's a fine desk and a really nice setup. Yeah, I actually enjoy sitting behind my desk now, which hopefully will make it just a little bit easier to like get stuff done. The only thing that I'm not 100% satisfied with, and this is just personal, like nitpicky stuff, is this monitor right here. I have it plugged into my um, battery backup, which is on the bottom shelf because I have two shelves right here, and I can't move this monitor over because the length of the power cord. So I might have to do just a little unplugging and moving that battery backup up one shelf, but totally like a nitpicky thing. So for those of you who are joining us for the first time or seeing this on replay crew, this is my second channel. I am Squid Pro Quo over on the Squid Pro Quo channel, where I talk about a lot of legal stuff, a lot of drama, all that. However, I am by background an occupational therapy assistant. I also have a certification as a lymphedema therapist and a corrective exercise specialist. And since I am a stay-at-home mom at this current time, I wanted to use my education more in my YouTube channel. And because the YouTube algorithm doesn't like to push out, it gets confused. I mean, at the end of the day, it's AI. AI is not 100% smart as we give it credit for. It doesn't know who to push out your channel to, whether it's the drama, the legal, the aviation. So I started a second channel, and this is the channel that I want to see get to 100,000 subscribers. Will we ever get there? Time will tell. However, this over that one is where I'd rather see, because this is my baby. This is what I went to college for. This is what my career was in. Since I worked in a hospital until August of 2020, and I saw some things that I did not like, I don't ever want to work in the traditional healthcare system again. So I figured what better way to help people than to provide generalized education and keep people out of that healthcare system if I can help it. If we can prevent one fall, which prevents one person from going into the hospital with a broken bone, prevents one person from having to go to rehab, getting weak, now having a fear of falling, and circling this drain of healthcare until the inevitable. None of us make it out of these lives alive. Uh, so none of us make it out of this world alive at the end of the day. So if I can improve someone's quality of life and safety and aging in place and being happier with who they are, feeling safer, then that's what I want to do. And it provides me an opportunity to do what I want to do and not what insurance companies and um, healthcare guidelines. And yes, I do have ethics and certain morals and guidelines that I am bound to by my certifications. However, having a YouTube channel and being able to talk directly to the people um, definitely is a lot more freedom um, versus is a lot more freedom versus working in a healthcare, having productivity to make, only being able to work with certain people and people having to pay to see you. It's, like it, we just do what we do here. Ah, and JKD Book, how are you? And Mama Squid, you're here, but you were just here. Mama Squid comes over every Sunday morning and says hi. So you know what I meant. That this life, no one makes it out of this life alive. We all have an expiration date, whether that's 50 years from now, tomorrow is never promised. So we always want to treat every day like it's the most important. And if I can provide someone with the education to feel better about where they are in life, um, the video that we have uploaded and we're going to be releasing is Does Sitting Cause Pain? My major theme of that is you are not broken. Your chair is not the problem. The sitting is the problem. Any suggestions on how to soften up deep scar tissue? You've seen mine, I think. I think I have seen yours. Remember, and before I do anything, we just want to this is my disclaimer. Uh, this content is for educational and informative purposes only. I am an OTA, but I am not your OTA. Information shared here is for home safety and general wellness. I am not a substitute for personalized medical or therapy advice. Always consult your doctors, your therapists, your treatment team before you know, and your licensed healthcare providers before you start any new exercise or safety routines. So um, this is just my disclaimer. It is what I tell everybody. Please do not be offended by the fact that I tell everybody this. It is to protect myself with the YouTube terms of service gods and the National Board of Certification for Occupational Therapy gods. Because, I took this nice long test and I took this good old test that cost me a few $100s back in the day. Um, to get the C in front of my name. So Chris, with the scar tissue, it depends on how long it's been and how healed it is. If it's recent, be gentle. Never go in with like a deep tissue type of. Mm. But if say your scar is this way, like my scar is up and down. So here's the part in my hair. Um, my scar basically, if I were to part my hair all the way back, and side note, Chris, I will get to your question, I promise. I just have to tell you personally about if you ever look at your scars and you feel bad, um, take it as a sign of strength, not a sign of weakness. I went to put my hair in pigtails for Halloween and I parted my hair and I looked in the mirror to see if my part was straight, and I saw my scar for the first time in a long time, and I broke down in tears. So just know that, like, looking at a scar, if you ever get like, if you feel bad about it, you're not alone. And don't look at it as a sign of weakness because I my surgery was 5 years ago. Yeah, almost 6 years ago, and yeah, um, so but go gently and say, "This is my scar. I wanna go this way." And you wanna be super gentle. You do not want to if you feel pain when you do it, respect your pain. We are this is not where the, no pain, no gain kinda thing. This is not where we're in the gym doing bench press and, like, you feel the burn and, like, you can do 2 more because that burn is a good thing. This is not that. If you feel pain, respect your pain level. So, but just do a little bit of cross and you'll feel where you need to get, um, where you have more spots. And I use my head because sometimes I still do it. Like you'll see even on live streams, I will do this cross friction. That's what I found that works the best. There are other techniques. I have not seen any late research on it within the past 5 years. I would say I have not seen any research on techniques that work better. That's not to say that there's any out there or there's not any out there. I just haven't personally read anything myself. That's what tends to work the best when I used to do it with patients. That is what would work the best for me. Um, what are your thoughts about rebounding? I use mine every day for almost 3 years. I can certainly tell that my core is much stronger. Um, that's hilarious because I'm going to show you. Um, welcome to my office. there's there's our. It's technically not mine. It is the littles. It is her birthday gift from, or either her Christmas. No, it was her birthday gift because she likes to jump on things. So my Mama Squid, bless her heart, was like, "Well, here's a trampoline. She can jump, but I use it too." So sometimes just standing on it um, is great. um, sometimes just standing on it, especially if you're having a day where you need to do something, but you're feeling unsteady or just stand. You don't have like even tightening those core muscles are amazing. But I love rebounding. It's a different technique. It takes some getting used to, but sometimes even jumping on it is good for the heart. Um, do you recommend red light therapy for deep scar? I don't. That's not to say that it's not, it can't have its benefits. I just never used it. Um, and I've never seen anything on the efficacy of it. So from what I've seen, I have had friends that have used it for psoriasis. They used some red light therapy. However, I have not seen um, just like we used to use laser um, for rib fractures. However, it's one of those things where it could work, but it couldn't. It might not work. It doesn't do any harm, but I don't know if it I've never seen anything about it doing harm, but I've never seen that it actually works. So people spending money on things that might not actually do any good. That's kind of like I'm Gail, we ball on a budget here. So my whole thing is like I'm not going to have someone spend their money on stuff that I don't know if it actually works. I haven't seen anything about it causing problems. So it's like it's not going to do any harm. It's just one of those things where it might not help. My question is, how do you exercise in a wheelchair with limited left side? Um, I know that you said you had a stroke, and I've been thinking about you. Do you have any current therapy at all? Do you go to OT, PT, anything like that? Um, do you have any in-home services, or are you pretty like at the level you're going to be at, and that's kind of they told you that's kind of where you're going to get to, and just go with it? Because there's a lot you can do in a chair. Um, there's a lot you can do with a limited left side. So something even like it all depends, and this is where I say this is general education and not personalized to you, because I don't know what the status of your left arm looks like, if it's just weak or if it's contracted, because you could take your hands together and use your right arm to lift up your left arm. Um, you could do that with your lifting your elbow, using your right arm to lift. Not only does that work on your range of motion in your right arm, but that helps stretch out and or help strengthen depending on where you are. And that's the thing. This is why it's generalized education and questioning only, um, because of uh, the situation. This is why I don't provide individualized, and it's just general, because it's so two people can have the exact same diagnosis, both have quote unquote left side weakness written in their chart, and one person won't be able to move that arm at all, and the other person will be able to like they'll just have a really abnormal movement pattern. So it's kind of making sure your movement pattern is normal. But if you are able to get PT or OT or anything, or even finding a corrective exercise specialist in your area that could work with you on strengthening that side. However, for left side and just balance and strengthening in general, um, sitting away from your chair, like away from the back of your chair, and this is all dependent on how well your tolerance is too. If you don't have a very good sitting tolerance, even sitting away from the back of your chair, taking a couple of deep breaths and reaching overhead could be huge for you. It all depends on um it kind of all depends. But you could always email me a specific question and I could answer your specific question just a little bit more without having you put your whole medical history in a public forum. Um and do you suggest Mondello? I've never actually heard of that. You can use coconut oil, is what I generally have seen people use, because a lot of people use that for like hair, and people use that as a carrier oil for essential oils, so it's skin friendly. A lot of people use that as a substitute for lotion, so that's like a perfect. Good evening, Squid. Why, with older age like me, I wake up with leg cramps, calves more often. I've never had this with someone else. Uh, do you don't have any this is under the impression that you have no diagnosis. Um, Sometimes sleeping positions, I call them sleep injuries. You just wake up and things are stiff. Um, Sometimes it could be cramping, could be an electrolyte imbalance. It's there's a lot, and this is why once again, it's a generalized Q&A, ask me anything, I can give you a generalized answer. Um, but does it go away after you wake up? Because if it goes away after you wake up and you start moving, it's generally a sleeping position. Um, Sometimes I wake up, my back hurts because I have to sleep with the pillow behind my back, so I'm picky about my sleep, which is one of the reasons that I don't sleep very well. All right, and I'm sorry if I'm behind on these questions. Hilarious. I finally worked up to 45 minutes a day jumping. She jumps on our couch. And my mom was like, you, because we tried to tell her no. And she was it's not so much that we have a problem with her jumping on the couch. Of course we do. But it's more we have hardwood floors. Well, look, vinyl plank flooring. So we have hard floors. And it's you're going to jump off one of these days and you're going to hit something on hard floor and it's not going to be pretty. Uh, but she comes in here and she jumps. Uh, I'm late starting at the beginning 2 times despite YouTube somehow disabling changing speed. Mwahaha. Jeffrey, evil. Red lights are pretty affordable now online. Pretty affordable, but I'm always the kind of person where try it. If it works for you, it works for you. I just have not seen anybody have success with it, but that's to say, like I said, I have not worked with many people who have ever used it or seen anybody, but I have read that it doesn't hurt anything. You're not going to hurt yourself by using it. So if you can afford it and if you want to try it, you you do you. Like I once again, as long as you're not putting yourself in a dangerous situation, um I would never advocate for something that I think is going to cause harm, but I haven't seen red light therapy actually causing anybody harm. So I drink so much water that I'm a camel. So for you, it actually might be an electrolyte imbalance. Do you ever put like electrolytes, salt, magnesium, potassium, anything like that in your water? Because if you drink a lot of water, you could potentially throw off your electrolyte imbalance, and that could cause cramping. You know? Oh, yes. Yes, please hit the like button, help grow this community. Yes, share this out. We are like I said, I love my other channel. Do not get me wrong. Um, however, this is my this is like I said, I always call this my baby. This is my passion project. This is what I went to college for. This is my most recent passion, you know? Um, whereas that other channel is like we talk about some things and I'm not a lawyer, so but we talk about law stuff and we talk about aviation, although a, aviation stuff is kind of important and I do have a background in aviation. It's just been 15 years, you know, because I'm old. Tammy, I'm sorry. Who is that? Malin, that's me. That's me. Uh how does one deal with permanent nerve damage in the back when injections, RFA and PT doesn't help and docs refuse surgery? That's uh, that's a tough one. Um, Permanent nerve damage in the back, positioning, and sometimes massage. A lot of the times with nerve damage, your nerves are over. A lot of the times, not all the time. This is just a generalization. Your nerves can be overactive. Like my shoulder. For example, my shoulder, when I go to do something, my shoulder will hurt. So I have to sometimes give myself that little input that says, "Hey, there's nothing actually wrong here." Um, and if I like kind of massage or tap my shoulder, my brain and my shoulder kind of connect to the fact that, okay, there's nothing structurally wrong with your shoulder. It's just your brain kind of being a little overactive. The problem with pain is it can structurally change your brain. There have been studies, and I can't cite one right now because this is stuff that I learned when I was in the hospital, and we did in services at lunch, and one of the PTs was doing an in service on pain and the brain, and pain can actually change the structure of your brain. I still have the handout in my closet in my binder full of um, therapy stuff, resources somewhere. But pain can actually change the structure of your brain over a prolonged period. Uh, so it's the longer you've had that pain, the harder it is to repair or fix. But positioning would probably be a big help too. Um, Making sure that when you are in like a sitting position, you're not in an awkward position that's going to cause you pain. And I haven't, okay, the apparently this is bubbles or balloons, but I didn't mean to do that. Mm. I had PT, now I have to wait till spring for more. Has to do with either insurance. My arm is at 95% function. Hand is mostly healed except for the last two fingers won't close. Leg is only at 50%. That that's really interesting because generally the more you weight bear, those joints come and muscles come back first. So the leg is generally first. Generally, you see people being able to walk before they can do stuff with their arm, because of the fact that they weight bear. Your arm is at 95%. Yeah, I would keep with your hand, I would keep doing range of motion with your hand, to make sure that those fingers, when or if you get the function back, that you can actually close your hand. Because sometimes, if when you were little, my mom always used to say, if you make that face, it'll stay that if you keep making that face, your face will stay that way. Well, if you don't move it, you lose it. So with the last two fingers, I would just keep moving them. And also, you practice doing what you can. Also, um, what you can do is take a washcloth, and I know this is a rag, but you can try to ball up a washcloth in your hand and then separate it out, flatten it out. And this one has the little was playing with the uh, the wire keepers. Desk isn't completely organized because of trying to figure out where things fit best, but taking a washcloth and balling it up, and then also trying to spread it out. But also, if you have help, just standing up and sitting back down repeatedly, because that repetition not only teaches the brain that, hey, I can do this, and movement builds confidence. The more you move, the more your brain has the confidence that you can do it. So it's a big thing. You'll email me. Uh, Leg cramp people, banana works well too, low potassium. Uh, I used to get Captain. You're doing great on the question time frame. Yeah, and we're gonna try to keep these to about 45 minutes to an hour. Not only to make everybody's Sundays a little, you go back and spend time with your family on Sundays, and I can spend time with mine, but it makes it easy for replay crew, because we've all seen those 2.5 hour live streams. Although I appreciate replay crew, it's hard to watch. Sometimes you can't watch the whole thing at once because you got lives. So these live streams on Sundays are for people who have a goal. Like, you need information, you want information, you want to talk about the video that we just played, or that we just uploaded. You want to ask me a question. These are a specific targeted, versus that one where we have a longer form. So we want to make it easy for replay crew to get the information they need. Yeah. Yes, and everything talked about in the stream is personal information, not professional. Yes, this is my opinions based on my what I've experienced, but my own personal experience as well, because for those of you who might be seeing this video who have never seen me before, I had a Chiari malformation. My brain was herniated into my spinal canal, by 7.5 millimeters. And in 2020, I had brain surgery. I had Chiari decompression surgery, which put a metal or titanium-ish, I think it's titanium mesh, attached to my brain to keep it up where it is supposed to be. However, years and years, and how many years we're not really sure, of compressing my brain caused cysts in my spinal cord. So I have to change positions. I get chronic pain. I get chronic headaches. I have a lot of problems for as healthy as I might look, and as how I look fine. I have been gaslit by the medical community for years, which is one of the reasons that I never want to go back and work in a hospital. So, like, uh, it's one of the many reasons why we are a community where we will work things out together and not I'm not preaching to you. I am not a professor. Um, we are a community of people who will work things out as a community. Huh. So yes, a goal and encouragement to everyone. Yes. And hey, Jeff, how are you feeling today? Nah, she could pass the part. Just saying. Oh, I was thinking Heather. Squid is squid. And it's one of those situations where I'm using my first name on this channel. One, because most people that follow me know my first name, even though y'all call me Squid anyway, which is totally fine. I go by either one. Even people who I talk to every day, um, and they know my first name, they know my family, they still call me Squid. It's hilarious. Um, so I know people's first names, like Spawn Trooper. I know his first name. I still call him Spawn when we're talking on the phone. He still calls me Squid, even though he knows my name. So, but for the people who are new to this channel and who don't know me, would you rather talk to your therapy friends by a cephalopod or their first name? So it is what it is. Uh, okay, I know my mind is blown. Gaslit from doctors for 33 years with no answers, which is why I just filed for disability. Yes, and Captain, you I know you just filed, and I know you're kinda struggling with the mental process of that as far as feeling like you're giving up, but you're not. You have a YouTube channel, and it might not be traditional, what people see as traditional work, but you are busting your ass on your YouTube channel. Um, if you didn't know, Captain Kern has a YouTube channel with 17,000 subscribers. He's killing it over there. No pun intended. Uh Yeah, everyone write down your questions for Squid so that as they occur during the week. Let's use Squid's brain. She's got the info. I do. And I like to share it too. But there's a time and a place to share it. And on a stream talking about, you know, somebody's silly legal document is not the time and the place. So that's one of the reasons I started this channel is because people were asking me questions and I was like, let me just start. I want to share the information I have. I want to discuss things with people because I know a lot of the people on my squid community have are like me. They have chronic pain. They have good days. They have bad days. They have days where it's like you look fine, and they have days where it's like I don't want to get out of bed today because everything just hurts. And I've been gaslit by doctors, even though I'm only 40, so I'm a young buck compared to some of y'all. Yep, come get your bike. Even though I'm a kid compared to some of y'all. Some of y'all still call me a kid. You're welcome. Bye. I love you. Uh, so, um, I figured I've been through some of the same things as y'all. Let's share my story and my education, and let's restore some faith in some healthcare. Um, so this channel is going to be so successful. Just give it time. Yeah, and I'm patient with it. I'm trying to grow my brand because I also on this channel will have um, downloadable PDFs that you guys can, take fall prevention. You can't remember things, but you don't have time to constantly watch a video, handout that you can put on your refrigerator kind of a situation. Um, I will have things like that over time. It's just a matter of building it up. See, I knew the brain book placement was important. Yeah. Well, behind it is the lymphedema book. So it's not like it's, the book behind it is not important too. It's just the brain book is more important on a daily basis because I always like to know how people tick. Yeah. And hey, Rickles, happy Sunday. Oh, if you have so So I know this is the wrong channel for this. However, Rickles has a channel. Rickles uploaded a video yesterday that is, I think it was yesterday. My weekend has flown by, but it's Polymopicus. If you know, you know. But Polymopicus made me laugh way harder than it should. And every time I say it, I laugh. So go check that out. Give him a follow. Or a subscribe because it's hilarious. And maybe he'll upload more stuff because that was funny. So, yeah. Uh, and this is what I don't understand. And I will never quite understand certain things about disability. I filed for disability, had a stroke, and cannot walk or write. I was denied twice. Like, uh, it's, I don't get it. Um, However, since we are, there's already more, there's some shorts. Sweet. Kirby, oh my god. Yeah. Hey, Roy. Um, so this coming up for the month, we have I I was looking at it on my phone. I will look it up. Hold on. YouTube. Let me go to where it goes. Crap, wrong channel. See, I don't know how people have like multiple channels and stuff. I'm so bad. I could barely manage one. Um uh Tammy, I will when I make more mods. Um this this one I went with for mods on this channel. Um I modded Tammy because Tammy has a background in rehab. So where when I get more and I get a bigger following, when I add more, I will definitely be adding more mods. However, we I started with people who have a background in the uh the topics on this channel. Um, let's see. But when I add more, I definitely will be. There we go. Mm, Uh, come on. Go to your channel. More. Come on. Having to copy and paste. Oh, Joanne, I will be posting his link. I just had to get it. Um, I was watching it on my phone earlier and didn't have it up on my computer, and I was logged into YouTube on my other on ETM and not Squid. So I it took me a minute to find it, but that's his link. There used to be a nearly 18-month-long process working through the legal mess for SSDI. Not sure if that has changed, but or not, but the initial denials are not uncommon. Yeah, they mm. So now that I have Rickles add or link up here, I'm gonna add it right away to my notepad with people's channels. Because one thing you will never find me doing is gatekeeping YouTube. If someone has a YouTube channel, I'm all for the more the merrier because we all need to lift each other up. I get hit in the rib cage a lot for a long time. They thought I was an MS, but it's just weird nerve singles. Oh, rehab tomorrow to build up the muscles and the spine in particular. Oh, oh, yeah, here you go. My mom was in the hospital. They found out arthritic disc. She has pain in her lower back, butt area, shooting pains in her legs. Has been torturing her. She's going into rehab tomorrow. Good. Thanks. I found it. So, does anybody else have any other questions before I get into the plan for the channel for the next month? And I just have to go into my filming schedule. I am too. I think I'm really gonna enjoy this channel, but this channel is going to be a challenge only because I am recording a video a week. So, and I'm doing research for those videos. So this one, it's gonna be a different challenge, and I'm not that I don't care about the Squid Pro Quo channel, but that's different. Like, I can read a report or like I can read a document and give my opinion, and we laugh and we make fun of stuff, and we have a good time. Here it's a little different, and like it's putting my personal like credentials and reputation, and I want to make sure that I don't mess that up, you know? uh, uh, my army neurologist had me approved for full SSD before my medical retirement orders were issued. Good. Like, I'm still s Roy, I'm stuck at 90%. I'm stuck at 90%. Yes, this channel is a drama-free zone. Yes. This channel, so I had a conversation with a couple of my mods already. However, my other mods, um, and any mods who I might add. This channel, on live streams, drama-free zone. Um, we stay on topic or general topic. Sometimes we get off topic, but that's an us thing, not a troll thing. However, trolls over on Squid Pro Quo, we entertain them. We make fun of them, all of that. Here, you get one warning and then you get yeeted for 24 hours. If you come back and you pull that bullshit again, you will get booted from the channel, no questions asked. This is not the drama channel. This is, I went to college for this. This is my degree. This is my credentials. This is my career. This is my business. Um, this is not drama. So, all to my mods, yes, this is to all my mods. The first time you time somebody out, 24 hours, I don't even care. We're not doing the 5 minutes, come back and start drama again. We don't have time for that. We're only doing 45-minute to an hour live streams. We don't have time for BS and drama. Um, like, don't add you as a mod. Why, you'd be timing everybody out. Uh, but yes, this is my heart. So, it's one of those situations where y'all use your discretion. You are mods because I trust ya. Um, if you see somebody pulling some BS or the bots, anything like that, an automatic 24 hours. There's no, there's no, oh, catch, catch Tammy with an eye on a bad day and you won't have anybody left. Yes, this is an informative channel to teach people and help inform people. Yes. All right. I just made it to the store. I have to get groceries. Prayers for everyone else. They are appreciated. You have a good day, JKD Buck. I will see you, later. Yes, not fair, wasting time. It's important to the people here who need help. Pretty much. Tammy would do more than a timeout. Dropping the ban hammer would have put it for a solution. Unfortunately, mods, unless you're a managing mod, which I only have like one of, um, they can't drop the ban hammer. I'm the only one who can do that. However, I will not hesitate to ban people because this is not the time or place. You want drama? It's over there. Um, so getting into quickly before we go, Buck is an honorary Tam. I sent you an email in reference to pain and a possible brain mismatch. JKD Buck Tammy. All right. I will read it when I am done here. Getting into the for JKD Tammy. That's it. Um, the 5 weeks, the next 5 weeks. We're doing 5 weeks of fall prevention type um, fall prevention type topics. They're all interconnected and related, and everything on this channel will be interconnected, but these 5 videos are more interconnected than anything else you will find on this channel. This is a series. The first one will be mobility for safe aging in place. The second one will be balance and stability. And these are generalized topics. These are not the titles of the videos. The third one will be cognition and falls. The fourth week will be home safety hazards, the top 5 changes you can make to increase your safety. And that'll be going over like general tips, cheap or free things you can change. I'm not making you spend money here. We're gonna try to do this as on ball on a budget, right? Um, oh yes, ice and snow. Yeah, that's another reason why I wanted to get these out of the way first. And I will be doing a handout on a PDF that you can download specifically on snow and ice safety with walkers. Um, because it's one thing to be out in the ice and the snow when you walk with no mobility aids, but when you have canes and walkers or a wheelchair and now you're trying to get through ice and snow and get in and out of the car, it, things get tad bit more complicated. So that is in the works. It won't be a huge PDF. It'll just be a couple of major highlights to try to keep people who are using mobility aids safer this winter. But that this is why this is going to be the first thing, first big topic that we cover on this channel. And then the last one will be strength and mobility foundations. They'll be about 15 to 20 minutes at a time. This first video is going to be 8 minutes just because getting used to recording, things like that, pacing, and all that. So, um, fall prevention for me means staying on the transfer board while disembarking my wheelchair. Yeah, and transfer boards are a fun time in themselves. If you have a good tip on safety or anything that keeps people falling, bring it here and share. Yes, that is true. And this is a community. If you know something or you have something that worked for you that I didn't mention, because I am not all encompassing, I can only go based on what I've learned, what I've seen, and what I've personally done. Um, if y'all have anything that you found works for you, this is a community. This is not a I preach to you. This is a we discuss. Um, Fall risks increase so much more when winter weather conditions. Yes, and also, Tammy, I don't know about y'all, but up in Canada, but when I was in Wisconsin, we had certain snow that I'd call it the heart attack snow because it would be that heavy, thick, wet snow that when we got it, you would see an increase in admissions to the hospital with heart attacks. So, yeah. Yeah, mom, you fall too. You fall a lot too. So that'll be the first or the next 5 weeks. So that'll take us into oh my god, that'll take us into Christmas. Oh, yeah, broken hip weather. Yeah, broken hip weather. I had a strain in my lower back in 19. I still have effects from that in my leg. Will give out if I put a lot of weight on it, like going up steps or using it to get up off the floor will give out. And this is one of the reasons that we have this channel because like there's certain and I know insurance will not pay for people to go to therapy to I know that insurance, you have to be at a certain level and it to be skilled service for people to get therapy. So you have a lot of people that are in this community specifically that are too high level for therapy, but too low level to feel safe doing all the things that they need to do. So this is where a lot of what I want to do with this channel will come into play is that I know people are in situations where they don't qualify for physical or occupational therapy. Um, they could get a they could get a um, a trainer, but that's expensive too. So sometimes people just need a little encouragement, education on things that are possible, and then they can use their own judgment on what works for them. And that's what I'm here for. So in the desert, we hardly get any snow. Well, lucky you. There's a reason. That's one of the many reasons I live in Georgia and not Wisconsin. Yeah. Let someone shovel your snow, bake them cookies for payment. Yes. Uh, or a good Venmo works too, you know? If worst comes to worst, buy them some coffee. Like, anyway, on that note, it's been about 50 minutes. We are going to call it a day. Um, I appreciate you guys so much for hanging out with me on a Sunday morning. And Gail, this channel is going to be so helpful. Everyone share, tell your friends, bring them in. Yes, the goal is to make this channel bigger than Squid. Um, I would love this channel to get me that plaque on the wall. So, and hey Jen, how are you? So this channel is what I'm hoping. This is my heart and soul. This is my baby. Um, so yes, hit that like on the way out if you have not yet done it. I would greatly appreciate it. Share this out. Um, I appreciate. Let's get this. Let's. Our first goal is 500 subscribers and 3,000 watch hours. That's our first goal, and we're hoping to hit that by next year or around the first of the year. It's a lofty goal, but we're working, and I appreciate each and every one of you for being here. All right, guys, I will see you on the next one. Y'all have a great day and be safe. And remember, come back here for all tips to help you move better and live safer. Bye.